my kitchen cooking with Sofrito. I am a wife, mother, and a very, very proud grandma of two, who is on a mission to bring everyone together with delicious meals from my table. I started experimenting with food when I was about 10, and by the age of 12, I cooked every day. Being the oldest of 8, after school, I would rush home to cook dinner and needed something the right amount of spices. Something so tasty that 7 siblings would eat and beg for more. My favorite chef was Julia Childs. She opened my eyes and mind to a whole new world of different cuisines. I started to look into French cuisine, Italian, Asian, Mexican cuisine, and still love to watch and get cookbooks from different countries and learn the different methods of cooking. I used to go to the library as a child to work on school projects, and instead I ended looking for cookbooks and checking the cookbooks out instead of books to help me with my project. So excited to be sharing with you my secret ingredients I incorporated to all of my dishes. I created my own sofrito at the age of 15 years old, and to make things easier for me in the kitchen. My method of building 3 different sofritos will save you time from chopping and dicing, and will help you create dishes your family will have you begging for more. Don't be afraid to take a recipe and create and make it your own. Recipes are there to guide you and to teach you. You make it your own. I married my Portuguese husband, and that opened my eyes to a whole new cuisine. I can't wait to share those recipes with you. Now, let's make sofrito. My first sofrito I'm gonna show you is called Mama Sofrito, and that's what my kids call it. I use this sofrito on most of my cuisine and infuse it into international dishes that I am so excited to share with you. Start our sofrito. The first thing you do is take your pepper and dice it. Let's just dice our pepper. And let me use my favorite knife. It's a quicker dice for me with this knife. I love this knife. And that is 2 red peppers. So I have 2 red peppers here. The next thing I'm going to do is dice my onions. I have 2 onions, and I'll show you how to dice it. And you don't have to dice it finely. You could do a rough dice, so don't worry about getting it perfect. This is all going to blend together. I'm just gonna dice half an onion. I already have 2 onions here, so I'm just gonna dice. Set it over here. I have 2 peeled garlic heads here on the side, and I have all my spices ready to go. At this point, I am going to start blending. So I'm going to grab some onions, and I'm using a small blender right now, but you could certainly use a larger blender. Some of my red peppers and some of my garlic. I am going to add some white wine. If you don't have wine, you could use water, or if you don't have white wine, you could use red wine. I have some oregano. Some paprika. Some smoked paprika. And this is just gonna give it such a smoky, yummy flavor, and it's just gonna intensify that flavor in your dishes. Some cumin and capers. just give it a little bit of tanginess, and it just makes everything yummy, combines everything together. I also use some mojo, and mojo is it's made with a sour orange, and that we use a lot in my country, Dominican Republic, and also has oregano, garlic, and a lot of other yummy condiments. So we're gonna pour some in, or let's pour it all. We could pour all of it in. Set this to the side. We're gonna blend everything together. Let me bring over a bowl. This is where I'm going to put all of the sofrito that I blend, because out of this sofrito, I am going to make 2 more sofrito that I will show you next. So we just pour it right in there. And we just keep blending all the ingredients that you have left. We have the peppers, the garlic. We love garlic in our family. Can't live or can't cook without garlic. It's just so yummy. Makes everything taste so yummy. Onion, garlic. And we're gonna add some of the onion and some of the wine. I use about a cup of wine. Just gonna seal everything together and blend. Sofrito is a little lighter this time around because all the colors are in here from the paprika and from the red pepper. So we're going to mix that all. And I am telling you, you're going to love this sofrito. You don't need much more to make your meals. It's amazing. We love it. So when I come back, I'm going to show you how to make our sofrito verde, which is used to create Spanish dishes such as beans, habichuelas, arroz con pollo, arroz con guandules, and one of my favorites, sancocho. So we're gonna start our sofrito verde. This is an awesome sofrito for all of our Spanish dishes. And we're gonna start by getting some of that sofrito that you mix very, very well. Make sure you mix everything together. And we're just going to pour some of that sofrito into our blender. I would say a little bit less than halfway. We are going to add a handful of cilantro and a handful of culantro. Culantro is has a similar taste to the cilantro. The only thing is it's a little stronger, makes your food taste absolutely delicious, and it's a flat leaf. So sometimes I put ajicitos, but ajicitos in my area are very hard to find. Sometimes I will have to go to the Spanish store, and that's a little bit ways for me. So we're thinking of just getting a few plants and putting in our herb garden. We're gonna blend everything together. And now that everything is blended together, I am going to add the green peppers. And the reason why I blended this prior to adding the green peppers is to give me room so I could add the green peppers to it and not overflow. And here we go. I have one bell pepper here, one green bell pepper. And let's blend this all together. And this sofrito. You're going to love it with your Spanish cuisine. Add the sofrito to our jar. I already have some here that I just blended about 2 days ago. So it's a little full. But I am going to make some arroz con pollo later, so I am going to save this to the side. Okay, we're going to rinse this one out. Because we're going to make our sofrito italiano next. Now let's rinse the blade out. That is rinsed. And again, we're gonna add some of the sofrito that we already made, our first sofrito. And we're just going to put it right in here. Let me get the other scoop faster. I have here some sun-dried tomatoes. It's gonna go right in here, and it's soaked in olive oil. Sun-dried tomatoes. I make homemade pesto. We're gonna add some homemade pesto, but you could certainly you can buy pesto at your local store and use that pesto. It will be just as awesome. Sometimes I use the store-bought pesto when I don't have time to make my own pesto. And here I have some of the Italian herbs: rosemary, parsley, oregano, all those yummy herbs. And we're going to just pour it right in there. And we're going to mix everything together. Nice and mixed, and the sun-dried tomatoes, they hit that liquid, expand, and make everything really, really thick. So what do I do at this point? If I want to thin it out just a little bit, I could add either a little bit of mojo, I could add some wine, or I could add a little bit of water, whatever you have available. Right now, I'm going to take a little bit of wine. My hands are a little slippery. So we'll add a little bit of wine, not too much. You don't want to thin it out too much. And we just put it back and blend. I'm going to take it out again and see how thick it is? It's still very thick. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water, and it doesn't always come out perfect. It all depends on how many sun-dried tomatoes you put in there. So just use your judgment. You don't want it watery, but you don't want it overly thick either. And I'll show you the consistency once it's done. Just let me mix it a little bit. Some of that liquid underneath so it can just blend over together. Some of that liquid fall on the bottom. This is so easy, and it's gonna make your time in the kitchen so much shorter. Right now it looks like a lot of work, but trust me, once you get these steps done, you put it in your fridge, it's gonna last you around a month to 2 weeks, depending on how much you cook. Me, probably 2 weeks. Probably less, because I am cooking much more than now that I'm sharing with you. Did you see how everything just from the top started to come down to the bottom and mix? That's the consistency I like. now I'm gonna put it into a jar. Right now I already have one full jar here that I made the other day, so we're set to go. And this sofrito is perfect for pasta sauce, for chicken parm, for meatballs, for spaghetti, for lasagna, eggplant, you name it, we're going to make it. And now our sofritos are ready. This is my original sofrito, which gave birth to the Italian sofrito and the green sofrito that I use for Spanish dishes. Although I have 3 to-go sofritos, I am so enthusiastic about where the rest of my sofritos will take us. Get ready for an international excursion of sofritos. We will be infusing with some of my sofrito dishes from all over the world. If you would like to see more of our recipes, like and subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when a new recipe is posted.